My name is Nico Alexopoulos. I am the current director of CJF Futsal, FTP Futsal Academy, former USYF 365 Academy, and I want to make sure that you guys understand how passionate I am, how passionate we are here about bringing education. Why year-round futsal? Why futsal first? Why soccer players across the world are being developed through futsal? It's about time that we catch on. It's about time that we develop our youth soccer players the way other countries have, like in South America and Europe. There's a reason why the Premiership in England is being dominated by South American players, by European players whose roots have been on the futsal court. They have been developed through the futsal court development system. It's that simple. If you are as obsessed as we are about bringing the best opportunity to your young soccer players, giving them the best opportunities to excel at the pro level, at the college level, at the academy level, at the club level, at any level, or if you just enjoy the game of futsal, it's an absolute must that you understand why we're so passionate, why we're obsessed about bringing futsal education to everybody, why we feel that it should be year-round futsal, futsal first at the starting ages, and use futsal as a development tool through the teenage years, through the college years, all the way up to the pros. So if you have a soccer player, I urge you to do your research, do your due diligence, be obsessed, and bring the best possible development tool to their soccer game, futsal. Okay, so let me just point out a few small things that you may have not thought that make futsal the dominant development system at the young ages and maintain that training system through the teenage years all the way up to the pros. First of all, it's being played on a much faster, slicker surface. So it's a lot more difficult to do any kind of ball mastery. If you can use your ball mastery, if you can master your skills on the ball, on the futsal court, when you go out to a slower turf or soccer surface, it becomes a lot easier. It's simple, right? Now, let's take that and add on the fact that you are playing in a much more restrictive space. The futsal court is a lot smaller than that of a 5v5, 7v7, 9v9, 11v9 slow turf or soccer field. When it's more restrictive in space, that means players now have to do things a lot faster. They have to think faster. They have to react faster. They have to see the game faster. They have to read the game much quicker, adapt, make decisions, and execute. So that restrictiveness adds now the fact that the player is being developed mentally much faster, should I say. The last piece of benefit that futsal brings is basically the fact that the game itself provides a lot more opportunities to be around the ball, to be in touch with the ball. There is no hiding in futsal. It's 5v5, 4 players and a goalkeeper. All players must play at all times, move at all times, execute at all times, think at all times. It's not like outdoors where in a much bigger field, a player can kind of hide at any given moment. If you have a 5v5 game, which is identical to a 5v5 game in futsal, in an outdoor, slow turf grass field, 2-3 players can attack, one player can stay in the back or kind of fade away and not really be engaged in the game. In futsal, you don't have the luxury of that. It's a much faster game. All players play defense and offense, transition, and have to be involved in the game constantly. The ball is around them all the time. the decision making is all the time, 100% all the time. The must think, the must react, the must read the game. There is no hiding. A lot more opportunities for 1v1s, a lot more opportunities to transition from offense to defense, a lot more opportunities to move with or without the ball, a lot more opportunities to communicate and move around, play as a team, a lot more opportunities to score goals, create scoring opportunities. It's just a game that it's 100% faster than any other version of soccer. That being a 5v5, a 7v7, a 9v9, 11v11, indoors or outdoors. Because a lot of people think that indoor 7v7 game is the same as futsal. It's not. It's still a much slower game, a lot more room. Futsal is a smaller game, faster game, where the player has to think quicker, react quicker, read the game quicker, and master his or her skills, because it's played on a harder, faster, slicker surface. It's not that difficult to understand, guys. Now let's add the element that futsal is much more exciting than any other type of soccer. I don't care if it's a 3v3 on an outdoor grass or turf field. A lot more opportunities, a lot more action, a lot more goals. The ball is being played constantly. When the ball goes out of bounds, a player brings it back. Before they kick it in, they have 4 seconds to get the ball back into play. That means the ball is always being played. In a 40-minute game, players are touching the ball a lot more than any other game. Even a 5v5 indoor turf game, even a 3v3 indoor turf game, okay? When the ball goes out of bounds, there's no restriction. You can take a little longer to bring the ball in. The referee will not really punish you for that. In futsal, if you don't bring the ball in 4 seconds, kick it in, automatically the ball goes to the other team. So now the players have to quickly adjust and move to free themselves in order for the player who's kicking the ball in to get the ball in play. So the game is always being played. The game is always moving. Again, guys, I urge you to do your due diligence and discover why futsal unequivocally is the number one soccer development tool in the world. There's a reason why players are being developed through the game of futsal. Futsal started as an alternative to soccer for the winter indoor season, or in South America, the number one reason why futsal was created was because there weren't a lot of soccer fields. So the smaller space, the fact that you could play anywhere, in a parking lot, in a basketball court, in a piazza, anywhere really, gave an opportunity for soccer kids and soccer players to play because there weren't a lot of soccer fields. When I grew up here in the Union County area in New Jersey, late 70s, there were not a lot of turf fields, hardly any turf fields in those days, really. So we played in the gymnasiums or the armories. That gave us the opportunity to play the game that we loved in a space that was pretty easy to get. From then on, from the fact that other countries started this game for those particular reasons, okay, has grown into the major development tool, because you cannot hide facts. Do your due diligence. Google top soccer players. Google what they think and what they say about futsal. Stop being resistant to one of the best development tools you have. You owe it to your kids, you owe it to your soccer players to be as obsessed in bringing the best possible environment to train and succeed. And that's what you will give these kids. That's what you will give your players by introducing them to futsal at a very young age, 4 or 5 years old. Introduce them, let them play. By the time they're 10 years old, I promise you, you will see an amazing little soccer player. As parents, as coaches, we owe it to our youth soccer players to be as obsessed about development just like in other countries. Let's catch up. Take care.